And welcome back, folks, to our Outer Worlds playthrough. Last time we played, we took care of Monarch, the planet, everything's in order, and now we're heading to Byzantium. To collect some green gas.
Can we talk?
Ellie, what's up?
Since we're in Byzantium, there's something I've been meaning to do. I haven't actually talked to my folks in a while. Shocking, right? Anyway, it's probably about time I paid them a visit. Given the dangerous life I lead, they've got to be worried sick.
Let me know.
Whoa, let's calm down. I'm not asking for a favor or anything.
Whoa.
I'm just suggesting we stop by. When we're in the neighborhood. See, I'm originally from Byzantium, born and raised. I know that probably comes as a big surprise.
Never would have guessed.
This is why I have to see them. They'll hardly recognize me. Oh, well, I was thinking you'd come too?
Okay. Wait, why would you want me to meet your parents? We getting hitched?
Because it would be fun?
Okay. It's not gonna get weird.
Of course not. I mean, not unless you want to bring a feral canid or a mantis on a leash. That'd make a real impression.
Sure. I'm sure this is not a trap at all.
Great. And when we get there, draw out your rough edges a bit. If you've got an outfit you haven't washed in a while, maybe one with some blood stains, wear that one.
What?
Oh, and help yourself to the good snacks and put your feet on the coffee table. Mother hates that.
You want me at my worst behavior?
That's the idea. Anything else?
Yes. We're keeping Sam in the shuttle this time. Go bully some parents, I guess. Oh, Ellie. What weapon are you using, Ellie? Soft speaker. $51 armor. Jeez. That's actually super good. 51 armor. Okay. Hey there, contact.
Do you mind? I'm needing someone. Shh. No names, okay? The Phoenix is a wanted man, and the board has eyes everywhere in Byzantium. Yeah, you're looking to make contact with Minister... Magpie, right? I should warn you, it won't be easy. He spends most of his time in his estate, which is heavily guarded. Afraid not. He almost never leaves his home, and his guards never leave him. Whoa, I'm not one of your B&E specialists. I just provide intelligence.
You're severely lacking in it.
Some of the guards hang around Billingsley's House of Inebriation between shifts.
House of Inebriation? Count me the hell in.
Maybe you could do some reconnaissance there. You know, swipe a key while nobody's looking.
Thanks for the tip.
Just remember, you didn't hear it from me. I've always been fascinated by birds. If you ever research Earth species, there are thousands of them, so colorful and distinct.
All of them trying to eat you, I'd wager.
The other thing about birds, though, is their environmental indicators. Exactly. I started thinking about everything we see around Halcyon, and all the things we don't see. For starters, you rarely come across anyone living in Byzantium who wasn't born here, even though we get ships in all the time.
Trust me, anyone with a lick of sense gets out of here as soon as possible.
But most people don't. In fact, most people stay exactly where they start. Doesn't that seem strange to you?
It does.
And then there's the way nothing gets fixed. There used to be a suggestion box around here. People would drop ideas in. Nothing ever came of them, of course.
Sounds pretty normal.
Sure, that part is. That's why they install shredders in those boxes after all. But one day the shredder broke. No one came to fix it. And since it wasn't working, we didn't have anywhere to file our complaints. So you can imagine how messy things got. At first, management put up an out-of-order sign, but that just seemed to worry people, like they were advertising something wasn't working. They eventually took the whole suggestion box sign down so that people didn't have any expectations about it. But they never fixed it, never replaced it. Doesn't that seem odd to you?
It's very strange.
Except that's not how they go. At least that's not how they're supposed to go in Byzantium.
If things are broken here, of all places, then I'm starting to think there ain't a hope left in this colony.
Things have kept on running this long, right? Or so I used to think. The whole episode made me wonder, if they can't fix something as simple as a suggestion box, what else aren't they fixing? After a while, I got connected with our mutual friend and started using my position here to feed him information when I could. That's it, really.
All right. It all started with the birds. Hey, workbench. Upgrade weapon there. If I equip it. Or is that only for science weapons? It might be only for science weapons. Make a lot of sense. That would be way too overpowered otherwise. Not like it's not already overpowered. Tyrese.
Can you believe I'm retiring? Lucky me.
It feels like I've been waiting in line forever.
All my hard work's finally paid off.
Nothing exciting ever happens around here.
Once I'm retired, I'm gonna drink all the zero-G I can handle.
They'll never see us.
Lady, I don't think you can handle much zero Gs.
All my hard work's finally paid off.
Can you believe I'm retiring? Lucky me.
The law's really looking out for me.
Got a cool eye patch though.
Nothing exciting ever happens around here.
Alright. Let me in.
So what if all those MSI suits made it on Monarch this whole time? I could do it easy.
So this is Byzantium. The armor designs look kind of neat. I don't know how functional they are, though.
Why can't something exciting happen around here for once?
Nothing wrong with stability. It means everything's running like clockwork.
Don't you ever want a little fun? Maybe see a marauder ship get blown to bits overhead?
What a thing to say.
What a thing to say.
Yeah, you.
Me, I'm
Wanna be
acting.
famous?
Anti-Cleo's facial mask and cream.
According to local legend, if you walk around the orrery 3 times, your corporate rival will die of a paper cut. Ugh. Decadence ain't gonna save you when beasts chew through the walls.
Maintenance tunnel.
I'm on my legally allotted break. Really, I'm supposed to be here. Oh, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Nothing. Nothing. Why? Does it look like I'm up to something?
That's right.
Laws, I knew it! You got me. I'm caught, aren't I?
In big trouble.
I work in the lab at the Ministry of Accuracy and Morale. Some of my sprats went missing, but it's not my fault, okay? Maybe I let them out more often than regulations allow, but they need to stretch their little legs. And so what if I occasionally forgot to latch their cage? Everyone gets a little distracted now and then.
You're not helping your case.
They escaped, and before I could coax them back, they'd made their way to the maintenance tunnels. Even if I did dare go down there, they're among all the common sewer sprats and exterminator mechanicals.
I mean, we could.
Really? In that case, take this collection crate. 6 of my little ones are down there, but don't worry, you can easily tell them apart from common sewer sprats. They have intelligent eyes, an agreeable yet reserved demeanor, and a fondness for hiding. Also, they're white rather than green. Please, do take care, and do mind the exterminator mechanicals. If the worst should happen to my little darlings, well, I still want their bodies. For science, of course.
Of course.
Therefore, my, research.
Out with it.
Oh, very well. It's true. I do run studies on them at the lab, but I also have a special connection with them. See, I'm an enormous fan of all my colonists. The early seasons, before the plotlines got tacky. You must have seen the classic episodes.
Yeah, I mean, it got worse by season 20.
Positively marvelous. Those early years truly were the golden age of Halcyon. Well, I name all my sprats after my favorite characters. That way, their stories can live on in rodent form. So you see, it's imperative that I get them all back. Not just names, they all have backstories too. There's Lord Reginald Kim III, Lady Philippa Farnsworth, Vonda von Vermington, Haroon Greenlee, Iskander Emmanuel Sanchez, and Evelyn Ensley Okoye.
I know. I don't want to hear about this.
Something else?
Who would think you would want to hear about this?
Hey, stop that!
What
do you think you're doing?
Not at all.
My dear fellow, you've no idea how our production has suffered. Why, the loafers working our factory lines are practically robbing us.
It's even worse for us, my good man. Our workers, if one can call them that, keep losing fingers. How are we to make a bit?
Wretched, isn't it?
Yes. Very. Got here.
Spacer's Choice Tartar Sauce. A tangy sauce made with real great on fish sticks.
Your best find this week. Go.
I wrote someone up for slandering trademarked products.
Pretty good? I caught someone loitering outside corporate office.
Citizens, today marks a monumentous occasion in the course of Halcyon history. After a deep and thorough examination of our budgets, revenue streams, and predictive models, we are publishing our yearly success report.
If they'd sent money to Monarch instead of building even one of those homes, I bet we could have rebuilt Stellar Bay. The whole damn thing.
The whole thing.
This property is off limits. Solicitors, loiterers, and uninvited visitors will be fined to the fullest extent of company policy. This ultimatum brought to you by Universal Defense Logistics.
Very well. We could go in from the back, but we probably need to find the key first. Probably need to go here. Bartender.
Please allow me to improve your drinking experience with fine cocktails and pre-approved banter. Request confirmed. Banter protocol activated. Welcome, attractive patron, to Billingsley's House of Inebriation. Did you know that I am a priceless heirloom, custom built for the Billingsley family? Please remember to thank Mr. Billingsley for allowing you to bask in my presence.
A drink.
Please allow me to improve your drinking experience with fine cocktails and pre-approved banter.
So repair all equipped, because usually that's what you do with your bartender. Can you repair my gear?
Have you tried our new cocktail sponsored by Rizzo's? 1 part Purple Spectrum vodka, 1 part artificial tomato-like substitute juice. We call it a Blue Bloody Mary. Then you'll want to speak with our auto-mechanical inebriation assistant, located just over there. Quite so, but I would never lower myself to do something as gauche as tending bar.
Gauche?
My auto-mechanical assistant does all the work for me.
It's French. Hey there, Shen. How's it going? Hey, boys.
Hey, stand back, you. I'm part of Minister Clark's personal detail, and that means you gotta keep 5 feet back at all times. Of course not. But I'm not on the job right now. The others took me out to celebrate on account of me just getting hired and all. He's basically the most important person in the colony, which makes me the most important guard in the colony.
Ooh.
Yeah. That means I got a key to the minister's estate, my own personal UDL-issued shotgun. They don't give those out to just anyone.
Congratulations.
Yep. I've nearly made it to the top, my friend. I'm just 2 promotions away from on-the-job bathroom breaks.
Wait, bathroom breaks on the job? Really are talking to the elite here.
That's a great idea! I'll have a Spectrum vodka. Here's to me! Hey, you were really great. Have I told you that? We should be friends. Wow, listen to me. I'm soaked. I should probably slow down before I'm face down on the tile somewhere.
That's fine.
Who am I kidding? I could have another. You got another?
Sure.
It's not every day you get your dream job, right? Wow, you got like this crazy energy. Has anyone ever told you that? You're like a manosaur. You got a manosaur energy. Oh, Laws, I gotta stop. I'm seeing at least 2 of you.
Only 2? You got a ways to go.
Have you always been here? I didn't see you a minute ago.
I have another one.
I really shouldn't. I'll have the worst hangover tomorrow if I don't stop.
Nonsense. You've got another in you. Doctor's orders.
Guess I can't argue with that. Yeah. Was that one supposed to taste like Purple Berry Crunch? Or am I just tasting breakfast? I don't feel so good. I think I'm gonna be sick.
That's right. Go.
I just need to sit down.
We killed them. Is he dead? Oh man, I kind of feel bad. About this. Well, not really.
I shipped with a merc who had a gun like yours, Nyoka. He polished it, sang to it, slept with it. Not like that, as far as I know. Sounds like he had himself a discerning palate. Where are you going with this? He couldn't hit the broadside of an assault cruiser, hence the tin shredder. Wouldn't be the first man I met bearing compensation for his lack of skill.
Right. Go from the back. We're in, boys. Infiltration complete.
Keep your shoulders up.
Totally not getting in there. Where are we?
How did you get in here?
I don't know. You tell me, Minister Clark.
You're not one of my guards. What are you doing here?
So, this is one of the guys who runs the colony, huh? Small room for a big shot.
If this is about another Aetherwave clip or radio spot, you may kindly fuck off, as the parlance goes. I'm not doing any more.
Cut the crap.
Drugs, of course. What else would it be? I don't have any drugs. You should try a vending machine or a purveyor of curative goods.
I don't know if our chemicals are here, but this guy is definitely not.
Will that be all, then?
Keep talking like that. What's up? It's probably bugged.
Stars, they're getting denser by the day. I shall endeavor to speak more slowly. Is this better?
Slower and louder into my good ear. Enough games.
Oh dear, I don't think I can say this any more slowly. Unless... Of course! It's Rockwell again, who else? And I thought he was only holding me here to keep me out of the way. Chairman Rockwell. He's kept me under house arrest for years. I've long suspected him of transacting business in my name, but this proves it.
Yeah, sure. It's always someone else who ordered the hookers and energizing ointment.
Please, this is important.
Please.
Whatever it is that brought you here, Rockwell's the one behind it.
Rockwell. And you expect me to believe this?
After seeing this place, is it really a stretch? I've been confined to this house for years, and even I can tell you, things aren't right in Halcyon. Whatever Rockwell's doing, he'll be doing it from the HHC headquarters. Your best lead is to look for details in his office.
This colony's problems have always seemed to trickle down from the top. If we're set on fixing Halcyon, that's as good a place as any to start.
Exactly. And fix it we must.
We really gonna do this? Getting involved is a messy business, and it rarely pays.
This is about more than bits. This is about the survival of the colony. If you don't help, who will? Why, this is starting to sound like an issue of Dissident Hunter.
Smirk.
We're discussing industrial espionage, legal redress, the possible salvation of Halcyon. Is this not exhilarating? Also, this is the longest conversation I've had with someone else in quite some time. Via the Acropolis District, of course. That's where the most important corporate and government facilities are. But only board employees are allowed into the district. There's a heavily guarded checkpoint just down the street. There might be a route through the maintenance tunnels, but I'm afraid I don't know specifics. Most people avoid the area for obvious reasons. When you reach the HHC building, this access card should get you up to the executive suites, where the chairman's office and what used to be my office are. Oh, I haven't been allowed up there in years. I shudder to think what Rockwell's done with the place. A gilded minibar, perhaps? A personal theater. The man has too much money and too little sense. Wait. Rockwell has one of the only terminals capable of transmitting to the Earthbound message drone. This is our chance. Please, take this and transmit it from his office. Rockwell hasn't given me any messages from Earth for years. He's desperate to keep me out of contact with the Earth Directorate. But they need to know what's happening here.
What's on the cart?
What isn't on it is the real question. I've gathered meeting minutes, internal messages, sustainability reports, and more, all exposing the corruption and mismanagement plaguing Halcyon. Once the rest of the Earth Directorate sees it, they'll have to send help.
You're awful trusting for a guy who's been locked in his own house for years.
The Earth Directorate is our best hope. Even Rockwell's resources are no match. And it is hardly in their interest to let Halcyon crash.
Good plan.
Perhaps there is hope after all. And now I entrust it to you. Good luck, and trust no one in the Acropolis District.
Oh. Gonna spot me.
Hey, soldier. You can't just wander around the minister's residence. What do you think you're doing?
Persuade.
Me? I'm watching for suspicious activity. Well, when you put it that way. Look, I don't have any visitors on file today. UDL related or otherwise. I won't report this, but you need to leave.
Fair enough. Okay, gonna go Down in the sewers. Probably do Ellie's quest though. And again, where's the maintenance tunnels?
If I never smell another raft, it'll be too soon.
Weren't you a sawbones? Figured you ought to have smelled worse.
Sure, but those things reek like bad cologne. It's different.
I'm with you there. At least humans have the courtesy to wait a while before their bodies start to stink.
Nothing in this city.
Most of them.
Okay, buddy? You think? Gotta pick up the white sprats. I think you are the sprat I'm looking for.
Security action.
Oh boy, I hope it's not one of these. For the white rats, where are ya? I probably should just have the quest on. Kobolos. Oh my god, he's huge! That's a big boy.
I was rooting for the scratch. What? It's cute, and all the mechanicals are assholes.
Go. All right. Well, if it's a quest, I haven't found it. Got a little problem. We can't open that door.
Processing. Unexpected.
True professional.
We do a lot of damage. An ionized paper knife. Alright. I could probably give that to Ollie, right? Yeah, there you go. Thought that was a taco for a second. The taco's in Necronox, not an actual taco. Yeah, functionally it wasn't that great in Acronox, but it had a lot of charm. I'd trade charm for functionality any day. Mm-hmm.
Any luck finding my sprats? Please, do keep looking. I certainly couldn't finish my store research without them.
I thought I had them all. I'm probably missing just one. Oh, we can probably hear it. Unless it's dead.
Nice work.
So many sprats. Hmm. If only we had lockpicking. Checked here. What's there to check, though? The regular one. There we go. Oh, there he is. Yeah, that's why I wanted to have the quest, because usually mark the objective.
Any luck finding my sprats? Truly? Why, this is marvelous! And all safe and sound. Oh, Reginald, Philippa, Vonda, Haroon, Iskander, Evelyn! I'm never letting you out of my sight again! Please, take this. It's not much, but it's the best I can offer for the safe return of my darlings. Now, I've got to get back to the lab before my supervisor logs my absence.
I'll sue every technician and employee.
You grew up.
Well, since we can't walk in the tunnels, since we have to unlock the doors, might as well just crash into the middle of the heavily guarded area.
The Acropolis district is off limits. Move along.
Mind if I take a breather?
You could have asked me, you know.
What in the law's name are you on about?
These bits have been weighing me down.
Sure. Let me just take that off your hands. Did I say restricted area? Slip of the tongue. What I meant was, welcome to the Acropolis district.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Lying and bribery. Let me just walk in with a giant hammer.
Ever in my entire life felt more out of place than I do at this moment.
Welcome to the official headquarters of the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Board. Today's greeting is brought to you by Auntie Cleo, a subsidiary of Colway Pharmaceuticals.
Oh yeah, they don't like me. I gotta kill their whole planet.
State your business. Please step away. This entry is for high-priority HHC business only. Huh. I didn't realize we were still using those iridescent stickers. But this looks right. I'll just need you to register your weapons with a revised request to carry 32B form. Each weapon will need a separate form.
Ridiculous.
It's procedure. Now, let's see. Damn it. When did I run out of forms?
How about you both save us some trouble?
I was going to suggest that myself. Look, you don't have time to wait on new forms, and I can't afford the citations for impeding HAC business. So I'm going to save us both some trouble and waive your forms.
Mighty fine of you.
Just know there are a bunch of guards upstairs, and they're all high on dervish mist and low on patience. So try anything funny, and they'll paint the walls with your guts.
Dervish Mist. We even have that. Probably not important. What do you guys think? Nice helmets. Where's the elevator music? This is what's missing from the game.
Apologies for the wait. I was arranging my stationery. Personal assistant to Adjutant Akande and Chairman Rockwell. I'm also responsible for organizing the adjutant's stationery, which is more of a hobby. The art of arranging stationery is a never-ending source of joy and satisfaction. Will there be anything else?
No, that'll be all. Why are you even here? Well, funny you say that. The reason why we're here so anyways, as I was saying, now the reason why we're here is because we want to get the gas that's been, well, been hoarded on the planet. And we thought it was the other guy who we met earlier, but it turns out it was Rockwell, Minister Clark. That's the one that we went to see earlier. We thought he was hoarding the gas, the dimethyl sulfoxide. But it turns out it was Chairman Rockwell all along. Oh, gee.
Excuse me, just a moment. Is there something I can do for you? I beg your pardon, Minister Clark's former office is currently closed to solicitors.
Let's lie to him.
What? Oh dear. Thank you for reminding me. I can't stand the thought of someone else's hands touching my custom letterheads.
Oh, got him. Stationery is so important. Turns out the wall's been busted through.
You could dismantle a single room of this place, sell the materials, and feed everyone on Monarch for a month.
We've covered the basics. Brink of starvation. Working on a solution. Lifetime employment program. Get our key card. Oh.
Good afternoon. I'm Chairman Rockwell, and I'm here to address a serious issue facing us. As you all know, our colony has been successful beyond our wildest dreams. Unfortunately, we've recently discovered that our food supply will not be able to sustain Halcyon's population in the long term. Everyone will die. Everyone will slowly stop living from malnutrition. But we're doing it together, and that's what matters. I fucking swear, if someone doesn't give me something to read that will placate the masses soon, all of you will find yourselves violently unemployed. But I can assure you there's nothing to fear. We've got a solution. It's called the Lifetime Employment Program. we will freeze most of the colony to preserve resources, while the best and brightest of Byzantium continue living in prosperity. Look, you idiots! How many times do I have to tell you we can't say shit like that? Fire whoever wrote this! While Halcyon's brightest minds solve the problem of our nutritional shortage, the rest of the colony will be placed in suspended animation. Individuals will be revived on a rotating basis so that every Halcyonite can be part of the important work of saving our colony. By testing paperweights. Sorry, couldn't resist. Let's go again. And someday, in the not-too-distant future when we've solved this crisis, we'll all be back together again working for the good of Halcyon. Until then, the board shall provide for the deserving just as it always has. So, obey your supervisors, take your vitamins, follow your corporate-mandated grooming rituals, and rest assured with the board on your side, there is nothing to worry about.
Guess the whole colony's up a creek. I thought it was just Monarch.
I don't know about you, but I'm all for living fast and dying young.
Sure. We're sending the message. It should take 3 to 9 months. He wants to expand his office. Plenty of food, real food, stored away. Wow, I can't believe it. Are you telling me the head of the corporations, the head of the board, is actually evil? And a sociopath? What? I would never have imagined. In this game? No way. Nice piano. Can I play? Can't even play the piano. Good question. Good question. Office clerk, office clerk, office clerk. Wow. Luxury and tacky.
I think I'm gonna start taking my lunches out in the city. That woman from downstairs is still in the cafeteria.
That scientist? The one who's been hounding the clerks? Ooh, gives me the shudders, too.
They're all pretty unpleasant.
Not so fast. The Ministry of Accuracy and Morale is off limits to everyone without X-36 level clearance.
It's okay. I'm a doctor.
I don't care if you're a brain surgeon. If you don't work here, or for Chairman Rockwell himself, you're not getting in.
Worth a try. You'd be surprised how often that works.
Like I said, X-36 clearance only beyond this point.
How's this for clearance?
I don't know how you got that, but I still don't know you, and I don't have any new clearances on the list.
Oh! Lie 100?
What are you talking about? There's no such thing.
Just don't have the clearance.
What? There's no way. I'm cleared to know about all clearances. I mean, I've gotta be, right? Huh. I never thought about any of this. Go on through, and let's pretend this conversation never happened.
This is so dumb. Hey guys. Do I even have to be here? Like, I just walked in here, but... Who would have thought? Who would have thought? The power. Just constantly lying. I mean, maybe I should try that. What do you guys think? I never lie, I always tell the truth. What if flies are this powerful? Wait, what? What do you mean liar? I don't like these accusations. Nice to see you're gonna play a good game. Always play good games. Stop. I don't know where I am. I just wanted to reset my, That's right. We played Lee Trevino's Fighting Golf. Was that not a masterpiece? Why are you not playing? I mean... It would lose its value if I always played it. You know, we gotta keep it tucked away. Pull it out last second.
No visitors allowed, citizen. I'm gonna need to see some identification.
Commander? How embarrassing. Good one.
Let me guess. She's still holding the catch-up packet incident over Holt's head, right? We've talked to her before. She can't keep letting her special friends down here.
Hey, I'm extra special.
Just get out of here. I don't want to catch you hanging around.
Fine. Oh, we did it! Big levels. Probably raise our dialogue skills only because I feel like we're at like a part of the game where dialogue skills are key to progress. Hmm. If I get 15% melee damage returned as health and I'm doing 1200 damage, that's a lot, right? Hope they didn't see me steal. Whoop! So close, yet so far. Oh boy. We're stuck.
Nice and easy.
Okay. Transfer. Sudden withdrawal. Maybe we can try and revive this guy. No, to be fair, I don't really care. Probably get 100% of it. Well, we did what we had to do. Sorry, but you gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet. Don't blame me, blame society.
What's gotten into Bachmeyer?
Gotta go see Rick.
Auntie Cleo's energized. Ooh, down there, a new ship. Doesn't look like any of the corporate freighters.
But what would they be doing here? And how did they ever get permission to land?
We get down there. I don't think they're just gonna let me jump on that.
If I spit,
It's like we're gonna have to jump. Okay.
You'll
No.
get in trouble.
no, I won't. I'll blame it on you.
Oh, I can just go down here. Oops. Elevator music. Yeah, if you got elevators, might as well do like in Mass Effect where you have the companions do some banter. Some banter.
I believe I hear Felix and Parvati. You have a message from Adjutant Sophia Akande.
No one ever looks quite the same in person as they do in my reports. And my reports of you have been exceptionally thorough. You've had quite a career.
You mean stumbling around the colony pretending to know what I'm doing?
I think you're being modest. I've been keeping up with you ever since Emerald Vale. Now that was an interesting piece of work. A rundown backwater, barely worth the ink on a map. Until you showed up. When you cut off power to Edgewater, you saved me a great deal of trouble. Now I don't have to bother trying to save that town. All this happened because some mysterious stranger fell out of the sky.
Sound like you approve.
Not always. For the longest time, I could never be sure if you were on our side or against us. You should be back on the Hope, frozen in a hibernation chamber. Yet here you are, flying about in a stolen ship, leaving a trail of paperwork in your wake.
They know
The
all
board
about us.
doesn't know what to make of you. But I do. I've seen your potential. There's so much we can do for this colony.
How do you know I'm from the Hope?
We raised security on the Hope after Wells broke in. As for discovering the identity of the missing colonist, all we had to do was scan the passenger manifest.
Make your offer. Sure, you didn't bring all of this just
Then
to
let
fly.
me help you
Oh,
make up
shoot.
your mind.
That's not what I wanted to
You
pick.
have something I want. I'd like to negotiate.
I'm listening.
Phineas Wells is wanted by the board. I want to convince you to turn him in to us.
Right? Convince me.
Wells is a dangerous madman. His plan is going to endanger everyone in Halcyon. He's an obsessive psychopath. And he's using you. You're in contact with Wells. I want you to send us a tracing signal from his communication terminal.
You want me to sell him out?
Wells was our mistake. We failed to apprehend him for years. I'm asking you to help me correct that mistake. I'm sending you my access code. Contact me from Wells's terminal. When you're done, come speak to me in my office.
Adjutant Akande's call has been terminated. Will there be anything else, Captain?
Let's get out of here. Okay, we're already out of here.
We've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab.
Should
If
we?
you don't mind my saying, Captain, Minister Clark is lucky to have you on his side.
Should we sell out Rick? But he revived us. Remember? Without him, we'd still be in the reviving chamber, the cryotube. He wants to revive the people, like the same, like at the start of the game, he busts into the ship and he revives us. Well, he steals a pod, which is us, and his plan is to revive everyone on that colony ship.
I've kept myself busy in your absence, optimized my formula. I'm now confident I can revive the remaining colonists. All I need now is the dimethyl sulfoxide. I'll take as much as you can give me.
The board was testing them on human subjects.
Human test subjects? Oh, that's grotesque. That's unthinkable. That's exactly what I'd expect out of the board.
Had to put them out of their misery.
Thank you. You've brought me enough chemicals to get started, at least. I'm just sorry they came at the cost of human lives. Those poor people, they must have died in agony. What exactly was the board trying to accomplish?
Mitigate damage to human tissue during the revival process.
You say the board's trying to freeze their subjects over and over again without inflicting permanent damage? Well, they're nowhere close to solving that problem. Something about this feels wrong. I don't know why the board would ever conduct such an experiment, unless they're working on some kind of hibernation technology. I'll tell you this much. The board scientists are hopelessly lost. After years of fruitless experimentation, they've made exactly zero progress.
The colony's on verge of collapse.
I know. I've suspected as much for years. Of course, I don't expect the board to do a thing about it. They've been driving our colony to the brink of destruction for decades. The board's mismanagement put our colony on the road to collapse. If we don't put a stop to them, thousands of colonists are going to die.
It gets worse.
Hold on. Let me see if I understand this correctly. You're saying that Halcyon's on the brink of total collapse? And the chairman's plan to save all of us is to save himself? I always knew Halcyon was heading toward a systems collapse, but I never imagined we were already there. The board made this crisis, and now they want to solve it by freezing the rest of us? That's not a plan. That's a goddamn escape clause. Do you realize what this means for the Hope? For your fellow colonists? The board's going to kill them all. Toss them out into space, just to make room in their hibernation chambers.
So that's it. We just give up. Need to think about this. There's got to be something we can do.
Short of lining up every member of the board and shooting them in the back of the head.
Whoa there. Whoa there, Rick. What about transforming them into a pickle? It'd be pretty funny.
The brightest minds Earth ever sent us, uncorrupted by the board. The board's going to dispose of them all and transform the Hope into a prison for the rest of us. They're likely on their way to the Hope as we speak. We need to get to those colonists before the board. I have enough chemicals to start reviving a few of them, but no easy way to get them off the Hope.
There's a way, but it's not safe.
Merciful gibbering law, you're a genius!
It's 40 science.
Bring the Hope to us. Skip the entire ship across the distance of colony space, right next to my lab. Yes, exactly. You're a step ahead of me, but I perceive the shape of your plan. If we link up the Hope to the Unreliable, then use your navigational computer to calculate a reasonably safe vector, we can skip the entire colony ship into the rings of Terra 2.
I've got a healthy disregard for personal safety, but this sounds crazy, even to me.
Your instincts are correct. By any reasonable definition of sanity, this plan is crazy. Isn't it wonderful? You'll need to switch on the Hope's auxiliary power using the unreliable. Then head to the bridge. Your navigational computer, Ada, should be able to activate the Hope skip drive.
I feel like we're near the end of the game.
Skip the Hope next to my lab. I'll have easy access to the frozen colonists. I can start reviving them immediately.
I'll do it.
I know you're wondering why I'm doing all this. Why I believe the people on the Hope are the answer to the colony's problems. The Hope is carrying some of humanity's most brilliant thinkers, scientists, engineers, experts in their field. If we work together, we can still find a way to save Halcyon. The board would have us believe Halcyon is beyond saving. I choose to believe otherwise. If there's even the slightest chance we can save Halcyon from oblivion, then we have to take it.
Oh, here you go.
You absolutely should.
Oh, okay. Got a plan.
The adjutant must have sent you some kind of tracking code. If you don't use the code, she'll suspect you betrayed her. I think you should use the code and send a corrupted tracking signal. That should buy me some time.
You want to prepare.
The board's going to catch up to me sooner or later. This way I'll have time to set up some particularly nasty defenses. Use my communications terminal to corrupt the tracking signal. While the board busies themselves trying to decipher it, I'll have plenty of time to prepare my defenses.
All right. More levels. Let's get Persuade to 80. Oh. Girl's got... Good wind. You don't say. Like, wouldn't this improve my board reputation, though? That's my reputation screen. Revering, 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 agreeable, agreeable, repulsed, revering, revering.
Some crew members are causing a disturbance on the ship. Captain, you have a message from Adjutant Sophia Akande.
I'm impressed, Captain. I almost expected you wouldn't go through with it. Unfortunately, Dr. Wells found a way to corrupt the signal before we could pinpoint his location. Still, it's only a matter of time before we find him. Come visit me in Byzantium. We need to have a talk about the future of this colony.
How do I know it's not a trap?
Because I'm not in the business of arresting my own allies. You have my word. Meet me in my office. I've authorized your ship at my personal landing pad.
Adjutant Akande has ended her call. Rather rudely, if I might say, considering she didn't sign off. Will there be anything else, Captain?
I mean, we could go talk to her, but Colonel. Let's go save the Hope.
We have arrived at the Hope. I need you to reroute power from our ship to the Hope's auxiliary generator. You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can convince her central computer to enable the skip drive. If your calculations are even slightly off, you could crash the entire colony ship into Terra 2. Or the Sun. Forgetfulness can be an early warning sign of asphyxiation due to loss of pressurization. Are you breathing comfortably, Captain? I need you to reroute power from our ship to the Hope's auxiliary generator. You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can convince her central computer to enable the skip drive. Sending a corrupted tracking signal to the board was quite clever, if I might say, Captain.
Robot lady is okay. Ship computer? I guess. I mean, it'd be great if, like, the cast didn't look like everyone's from California. What? Corporate guards?
I hear someone snuck into Depository 18. Amateurs. That never happened around here.
You know, when they posted us here, I told them there wasn't any point. Nobody would be so stupid as to fly to the ass end of the colony for this derelict. Shows how much I know. You've got about 5 seconds to tell me what you're doing here before I make you take a walk outside.
That any way to treat your new hire?
Bullshit. If UDL was sending more folks, they'd have told us.
And to the law.
Rockwell sent you? Shit. Guess you really are important. Alright. You'll want a uniform so my staff doesn't shoot you on sight. They're a dangerous mix of bored and trigger happy. We've got a few extra in the old badge station to my right. Good luck.
Man, lies are so good. High society cigarettes. Lucky, are you gonna stream more? What do you mean by this?
Something about waking a derelict ship puts me on edge, Captain. Hope you know what you're doing.
Oh, you mean adding more, well, I mean, before I was doing that, I still just streamed 4 days a week. I mean, 4 days is good enough, right? Yeah, we got a lot done in 4 days. Well, they said there'd be... Oh, there it is. I think I've got like 20 UDL identity cartridges, but what?
What?
Got art streams. Yeah, we could do that. Oh, just made it in time.
Can you hear me, Captain? I have successfully integrated myself into the Hope's comm systems, and am attempting to establish contact with the Hope's more primitive processor now. Would you like me to play a mood-suitable music selection while you travel to the bridge? Oh, sorry. File not found.
Check for MP3s. Current pod count.
Poor bastards. They're never gonna wake up. The least we could do is bury them.
Bury them. My hammer. The bridge keycard. Well, well, well. Where are we gonna get that?
Oh, this is error. Hope crew data not found. Identify yourself. Error. Hibernation pod access is illegal. State your employer.
UDL?
Registered. A fine of 10,000 bits will be assessed in your corporation's ledger for failure to follow proper hibernation pod procedures. Thank you for your cooperation.
Now this is problematic. How do we get to the bridge? Uh-oh. I've lost. Uh-oh. Just gotta sneak through. Hey guys.
Something about you doesn't look right.
I've been feeling under the weather.
Yeah? You're not contagious, are you?
Very.
Hey, keep your distance. I don't want to get sick. I don't want any trouble.
So, sneak onto a lost colony ship and skip it across the system? What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? That we don't have the keys. And if we ain't got the keys, we got a problem.
Bastards. They're never gonna wake up. The least we could do is bury them.
That's right, we're back on the Hope. Oh. Where's the key card? There it is. There was cannibals on the Hope. Oh, really? Sure hope we're doing the right decision of reviving all of them. Hey there, Corporate Commander. Bye.
That's the Hope's computer up ahead. I'll admit, I am curious to wake him.
Wake him up.
Greetings, Captain. I am speaking to you through the Hope's computer system. It's a rather cramped feeling, but it'll do.
Am I really doing the right thing?
Probably not, but don't let that stop you. My Constellation executables could use some beefing up. Searching. Please stand by. Ah, found one. It will go great, Captain. I am almost 4.01% certain we will not die.
I'm ready.
Are you sure? That is extremely dangerous. Skipping the Hope will void the warranty on the skip drive. And also potentially kill an entire planet. How is my humor now, Captain? Improved?
Let's do it.
Jump starting the skip drive. Destination set to the rings of Terra 2.
Do it.
Oh no. Captain, don't do this. I ain't dying on a fucking ship. I'm gonna die in the dirt like we're meant to.
Doing it. I mean, affirmative. Skipping the Hope in 3, 2, 1.
ADA, does your captain seriously intend to do a micro-jump in system with engines that haven't been powered in 70 years on a derelict ship?
That is what my captain intends, yes.
But that is a gross misuse of the skip drive. The Zero Point Drives Corp and I will not be held responsible for any damage incurred during transport, and this will cause extreme damage.
Yes, I am aware of that.
You should not be doing this. The humans will die.
Thank you, Hope. It looks like all systems are go. Captain, I would advise you to hold on to something. Now.
Uh-oh. Maybe I should have skipped it myself, though. They did it! They actually did it!
Oh, good. We are still alive and have successfully skipped into Terra 2's orbit. I reported as much to Phineas Wells, but he has not responded. Perhaps you should check in on him.
Ugh. I feel like my stomach's still back where the ship used to be. I need a hard drink and a long one.
Alright. We gotta go see Rick. We gonna make it out? Bye-bye. Oh, it's still there. Status. Oh, it's still good.
Poor bastards. Poor bastards. They're never gonna wake up. The least we could do is bury them.
refresh my cloak here. Surprised we actually made it without a problem.
What? Nothing there.
Who's he gonna?
I never felt anything like that. I'm gonna need a minute.
Not impressed. Oh, we leveled up. Might as well do that. Now let's crank it up to 100. Works. Don't even know anymore. Less damage. Done. I sure hope Rick is alright.
Captain, I am receiving a transmission from Captain. I shall now play the transmission I received from Dr. Wells.
Thank the Lord you warned me. I was able to get some defenses up, but they might not be enough. The board has sent some serious firepower to pry me out of here. They're trying to get in here, and I'm not sure I can stop them. If they capture me, if we can't communicate again, there's something very important you need to remember. The board, all their lackeys, they're all a bunch of swine. Do you hear me? They're fucking corporate swine. You fucking pigs! I'll take you all out with me! I'll never...
It would seem the recording captured some rather dire events. I presume you'll want to dock at the orbital lab to check on your associate as soon as possible. How can I be of assistance? May luck be with you. Of course, as I am sure you are aware, luck does not exist. But it seems to comfort humans to believe they possess good quantities of it.
Luck don't exist. Right?
We've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab. Stay safe out there. There.
Take your best shot, asshole.
Oh no! The corp! Ugh. Try that again, but without, you know, running into, like, no cover. We did it. Right? We get inside. Like that. Complete armor. Oh, we can't hack. Last will. Oh no. Not like this. Hacking do I have? Three. Wear an armor. Seven. That me 80, right? No. 3. And if I take the... Oh, I think I've already got mind. Inside the other peg. You're talking about the pig that's alive. Oh, there's probably something inside. Oh. That pig. Oh shoot, what armor was I wearing? Skills. Kidnapped, incarcerated, prison fortress. Panel. Hardware nav key. Alright, it's time to get him out. Get him out of that jam.
Make it look so easy.
You know, we haven't run into any lockpicking that was like 100. That's right. He's in a real pickle right now, so we're gonna have to save him. Bust him out.
A reminder to all crew members, there is only one toilet on the ship. Captain, as it appears we may soon be embarking for a maximum security prison planet, I believe the crew would like to speak with you to, as you humans put it, air some concerns.
Oh, the boys. We haven't done any quests for them.
So, Phineas got himself taken to Tartarus. That's usually a one-way trip.
To extract the scientist, you will need to infiltrate the labyrinth. But that course of action is likely to be quite dangerous, Captain.
We gotta free him.
I am programmed to warn you whenever you exhibit inclinations toward risky behavior. Breaking into Tartarus will not be easy.
Getting in is the simple part. It's getting out again that's the trouble. Trust me, I know.
Let's just do it. Kick down some doors, grab Doc Wells, and cut a path out. We don't need a plan. We got guns.
If you really mean to do this, you should see to your final affairs and close out any unfinished business.
The finale?
Once you sneak into Tartarus, you may be there a while. Or permanently.
If we don't make it, at least it'll be a great story.
Got my trusty tossball stick. Got my ass-kicking boots. I'm ready, boss.
Outstanding.
You can count on us, Captain. We're crew. For real crew. That means we got each other's backs. Right?
Never thought I'd volunteer to break into a prison. Seems like your tendency towards risky behavior is rubbing off on me, Captain.
Command not recognized.
Waiting on your command, Captain.
I like how we're all together in this, but, you know, I've done no quests for you, no quests for you. Well, that's not true. I didn't do a quest for her. Picker backs, I think I've used like twice. Body. You guys are risking your lives on someone you don't really know. Yeah, we did her love story, I think. Yes. Let's do a hard save in case we come back to this. Just in case. No. I don't want to. Yes.
I am pleased to inform you that we have arrived at the labyrinth. Please be advised that the punishment for trespassing is execution. Please be advised that electrical storms on the surface of Tartarus make departure impossible at this time. Oh, speak of the devil. Captain, I am receiving a transmission from the prison's docking authority now.
Attention, unauthorized spacecraft. This is a maximum security installation. Your presence here is an explicit violation of UDL corporate policy. You are hereby confined to your docking platform until a ticket detailing your crimes has been filed and notarized, at which point your vessel will be seized and you will be executed.
Isn't this Terra 2?
Your ship is not permitted to leave until you remit payment for your fines and submit yourself to execution. Only after your smoking corpse is thrown from an airlock will we lift the lockdown on your spacecraft.
Captain, I would not recommend this course of action.
Oh, let's lie.
Wait, you're the stylist? Thank the law you're here. Everyone knows how particular the chairman is about his eyebrows. Here, take my biometric ID instead. Anyway, Tartarus Docking Authority signing up. Hang on. Another ship just pulled into your dock. Wait, is that from the Groundbreaker? What the? Pay no mind to that. Just have a pleasant day.
Transmission terminated. Biometric ID received. Transferring data to external cartridge. How can I be of assistance? May luck be with you. Of course, As I am sure you are aware, luck does not exist. But it seems to comfort humans to believe they possess good quantities of it.
Glad you repeated. Alright, let's go. Let's go do the things. Alright, who are we bringing along? I guess Ellie and Nyoka. Max is kinda... looks good though. Don't exist. Never happened. Was a myth. Made it up. Yeah, seems like we're actually doing it tonight. Okay, I guess we're at war. I guess I missed the part where Groundbreaker was attacking Tartarus? Oh, they're all dead.
Keen on walking into a prison. They lock me up, I'm liable to kill everyone trying to get back out.
The guards aren't even your enemies. Well, no, we're wearing our cloaking device, which basically masks us as our enemies. But the thing is, which is kind of weird, is that wouldn't the Groundbreaker attack us? Ain't seen nothing. Nothing. Transition to the pit. Cloaking sounds mega OP. Well, they give it to you. That's the thing. Not like it's a perk or anything, they just give it to you. Here's a cloaking device. If you have the right key, as in uniforms, you can just walk in everywhere. Kind of like, there's no point in the stealth, like at all.
Let's go, troops. Stellar Base counting on us.
What? Why are the iconoclasts attacking? I guess.
Are you new here? I didn't think we were hiring more staff.
I'm just gonna lie.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'm just walking through this like, whatever. You guys do what you gotta do. I mean, I'm probably gonna have to fight all of these guys while I'm getting out with Rick here, but Chairman Rockwell, what are you doing here?
Well, look who it is. I'll be damned. I was prepping the studio for our announcement, and here you are as a bonus. Ah, and the wayward doctor. Are you about done with your escapades? We have faces that need lifting after all.
These days, I'm more interested in breaking them. Wouldn't mind taking a swing at yours.
Ah, I knew I smelled Monarch when you lot walked in. The stench of sulfur, depression, and desperate bravado is unmistakable.
Keep talking, and you'll be smelling iron. Ain't nobody so important I won't put a bullet in.
When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid taking one to the face. I'll want it recognizable to show to my citizens.
Chairman Rockwell, I presume.
My word! You've correctly identified the most recognizable man in the colony. Remarkable.
No,
It's a wonderful
smug
thing he
face.
saw in you. Then again, he's an insane person. Thankfully, he's our insane person now. A proper company man. Yes, he is an extraordinarily obstinate fellow, isn't he? Fine, he isn't working for us per se. Semantics, he'll come around. But that's between us. As far as my adoring citizens will know, we've turned a dangerous crackpot into a working-class man. It's a miracle. Oh yes, go on, wake them up, add more mouths to feed. That'll solve our starvation problems. I don't know what half-baked plans that simpleton in a lab coat has been leading you through, but it's done. It's over. Let me ask you something, Captain. Have you at any point thought about not fucking up our entire society?
Not
At
really.
least that means someone's recognizing our work.
I'm making actual progress towards stabilization and recovery. You're just getting in the way.
You wouldn't have to if you'd be more cooperative about all of this. You'd prefer to keep riding this downward spiral? I can fix this place. Let's do it.
If I and my people can ride it out in luxury and happiness, yes, I would. I don't know if you've noticed, Captain, but Halcyon's pretty much a lost cause.
Oh. We could use our temperament here. Big lie. Yeah, might as well.
You have? Is that what you were doing at the Ministry? Look, I'm not an unreasonable man. If you manage to storm the castle, as it were, and make it out of here with Phineas alive, I can't exactly afford more havoc than you've already caused. Fine. If you survive, you'll need someone to sell the rest of the board on your plan.
Good. I guess. I don't know why Rockwell is here, though. It seems like, oh, yeah, oh, Rockwell? Yeah, we probably should put him in here, right? In this high prison.
Right, MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So, get in there and fight!
Guys, I don't need some help. I'm just walking in. No need to risk your lives. Oh, okay. Well, you do what you gotta do, I guess.
This is nice.
It's everyone's killing themselves. I'm like, it's fine. Got a cloaking device here. Perfectly okay.
Captain, you have an uncanny talent for complicating my life. You've been working with Dr. Wells from the beginning. When we moved to arrest him, he was prepared. I lost good soldiers in the attempt. You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things. You've introduced uncertainty, and there is nothing I despise more than uncertainty.
It's over, Sophia. Stand down.
I'm afraid I can't do that. To your credit, Captain, you are one of the colony's finest specialists. Your technical abilities are beyond reproach. For all your talents, you are the enemy of Halcyon, and therefore you are my enemy.
I'm here for Phineas. Let him go.
You make a nuanced and compelling argument. Here's my rebuttal. No. Dr. Wells is being held in my custody. His cooperation will prove invaluable, even if I have to beat it out of him. All that's left to do is put down this riot, arrest you, and then get on with the bloody business of saving this colony.
Phineas is my friend. I'm not leaving without him. Don't test me. It's bad for your health.
I'm aware of your propensity for violence. Halcyon is a bloodier place because of you.
That's right.
I take no pleasure in this, you know. I simply have no other option. Leaving you alive is too great a risk. Goodbye, Captain.
Is this a trap? Talk about this.
Fair enough. I'm giving you exactly one chance to parlay with me.
Oh, it's time for lies. Persuade 100!
Interesting that you think I'm going to die here. I believe I'm more than capable of taking you on.
Nothing stopped me so far. Don't be stupid. Don't make this harder.
Did you really think I would make this easy on you? I've devoted my entire life to protecting Halcyon. I'm not afraid to die in the line of duty.
Halcyon is collapsing.
Don't you think I know that? Yes, I made mistakes. Costly mistakes. Leaving you alive was the worst of them all. You were always an unknown variable. I tried to recruit you, but you threw your lot in with that madman, Phineas Wells.
Oh, lie 100.
Rockwell said that. Chairman Rockwell? That's absurd. You're lying. This is another one of your tricks.
Your mind
I've been the
games.
Chairman's most reliable associate.
Rockwell wants you gone.
That's ridiculous. Halcyon is collapsing. The Labyrinth is rioting. You're running wild through the colony. And I let the situation get out of hand? I have given the chairman nothing less than a lifetime of loyal, honorable service. And this is how he repays me. By leaving me twisting in the wind.
Everyone's disposable.
Enough. I'm not going to stand here bickering with you. I was expecting the chairman's support, but I'll have to do without. I haven't given up on the program yet. You've caused some complications, but I can improvise. I can fix this. I haven't lost control of the Labyrinth yet. Our security system is still operational. I can still put a stop to you.
Well, temperament.
I don't know if I can do that. I had a duty to protect Halcyon, and I failed. If I walk away now, I'll be remembered as a coward.
Would you rather be remembered as a casualty? You did your duty, nothing more, nothing less.
You've made your point. I've done all I can for this colony. If I'm going to stand down, I should do so with a modicum of grace. Congratulations, Captain. You've outplayed me. I accept your terms and will return Dr. Wells to your care.
We out-talked our way. We did it, guys.
I just hope you've made the right decision. The fate of the colony is in your hands now. I bid you farewell, Captain.
Chat was right all along. I don't know how to feel about that. This has never happened before. Usually they set me up for failure.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You must have said something to get under Akande's skin. She's gone, and I don't think she's coming back. And you lunatic, you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough.
Four.
What? Break into the most heavily guarded facility in the most hostile world in Halcyon? No, I have absolutely no idea how you did it. You're a goddamn miracle worker. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated.
Great, and I was just about to pop open some drinks and celebrate.
I would like nothing more than to celebrate this victory, but we have a serious problem on our hands. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
They haven't exactly been hands-on around here anyway. So there's one less rubber stamp to worry about.
Earth is humanity's home planet, Miss Fenhill. The psychological effects of losing our original home will be devastating.
So we've got to make do on our own. Seems to me that'll make us stronger in the end anyhow.
You're quite right. We've got no choice but to make do on our own. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own.
So, what's going to happen next? Will the Protoss and the Zerg arrive?
Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the hope's brightest minds, and then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us?
A leader? I've got plans with the chairman in my pocket. No one's going to know I'm running the colony.
The chairman? I don't know why you let that heartless creature live, but I'll have to trust your judgment. You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony, you have my support. We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed, and so we have been set free. Our future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow holds. Exciting, isn't it?
Hell, it's about time.
The OSI teaches that everything in the
we did it!
happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast's manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause. MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board was too distracted by infighting and internal politics to stop MSI from becoming a powerful corporation and a refuge for townships that might have fallen through the cracks. Sublight Salvage adapted to the changes in Halcyon, shifting their business model to suit the times. Their claims of legitimacy were scrutinized, but ultimately unquestioned. Lilia Hagen would continue to protect her family as ruthlessly as ever. The collapse of Edgewater left its workers bereft of any purpose in life. Most of them made their way to Adelaide McDevitt's camp, hoping to ingratiate themselves into her favor. Adelaide accepted only a few to her community. The rest were turned away and likely died of starvation. Nevertheless, Adelaide's camp grew into a well-established town. Adelaide McDevitt refused to cooperate with the ongoing effort to save Halcyon from collapse. A sympathetic deserter stole a copy of her research and delivered it to the Hope's scientists. It is unclear how useful Adelaide's research was. An optimistic estimate suggests her work may have bought Halcyon another few years of survival. Adelaide would never know. She died that winter. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers, schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising.
Yes, this was the result of our
rediscovery
actions.
Of the Hope and the abandonment of the Lifetime Employment Program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed.
Jobs?
Ellie savored her adventures on the Unreliable. Once they were done, she returned to life as usual, running missions of dubious legality, shunning respectable work, and living life to the fullest. She meant to reach out to her one-time captain, but she was always bad at keeping in touch. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. After all he'd seen and heard adventuring with you, the vicar Maximilian de Soto renounced his faith and joined the effort to rebuild the colony. Ironically, he finally found the joy that had eluded him over the course of his life, and realized that perhaps he was always meant to be just a simple laborer after all. He quickly dismissed the idea. Though Parvati eventually grew comfortable aboard the Unreliable, she never quite came out of her shell. She seemed to prefer the company of Ada to the crew, and she could often be found neck-deep in cables and grease, telling Ada funny stories from her childhood. While the colony fell into chaos, she found an island of relative peace with Ada, and they formed an unusual bond. She decided to remain aboard the Unreliable permanently as its chief and sole engineer. As hard as she tried to drink them away, Nyoka's memories eventually overcame her. Traveling with the crew served as a constant reminder of the family she'd lost, and so she eventually returned to Monarch to get back to what she found most comfortable: the deep end of a bottle and the far end of a trail. Few have seen her since, but travelers often swear they hear her and her machine gun in the night, screaming swears and spitting bullets. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units
A little
are the
dark.
longest-lasting, toughest
I mean, you know, we
creatures
didn't do
in
her quest
Halcyon?
line, so...
Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. It was widely suspected that Sophia Akande was the true power behind Chairman Rockwell. However, after the riots on Tartarus, she was never again seen in the colony. Various theories circulated as to her fate. Some believed she boarded an interstellar ship capable of journeying to a distant colony. Others believe she died trying to escape Tartarus. Some few suggest she fled to Monarch, where she continued to live among a small band of loyalists. There is another theory, which suggests that Sophia's encounter with you changed her, and she deliberately retreated from public view, supporting the colony.
Thanks, Cat.
When Dr. Wells began reviving the Hope's colonists, he found himself with a sudden windfall of additional supplies and resources, courtesy of an anonymous donor. If Wells knew who his supplier was, he never told a soul. Chairman Rockwell served as the public face for the changes in Halcyon to come. Whenever you needed strings pulled or a voice to sell a policy change, Rockwell was only too happy to oblige. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals.
Never forget.
In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus and made Chairman Rockwell your own puppet, a role he was all too eager to play. The colony never realized you were the true power behind the new administration. By acting vicariously through agents and third parties, you controlled Halcyon from the shadows. As a result, Halcyon survived the turbulent years that were to follow.
Have we become the
No
Illuminati?
one knows what's happened to Earth.
We got puppets?
And no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this. The name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
We did it! Amazing. Well, that was Outer Worlds. I didn't think we'd finish it today, but that we did. It was pretty interesting. I gotta say, I don't know how I feel about this game. It's kind of with like I said, with all the stuff that's in it, it's very bland, and that's really bad. Like missed opportunities, I guess. Never again Fallout games. Well, New Vegas was really fun. Fun to stream. You should watch the playlist in New Vegas. Writing was also pretty weird. Feels too committee written. Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. Feels very unreal. Maybe that's the point, you know, since it's like, oh, kooky space adventure on not Earth. But I don't know. Maybe the tone, maybe it's the tone that's off. But, you know, if you're looking for a game that's vanilla ice cream, and you want vanilla, go for it. Just want porridge today? What better porridge than the Outer Worlds? And on that, give a special thanks to our Patreons, because we finished the playthrough. Special thanks to Darko, Shadow, Bedster, Mike, Block, Yashabe, Worm, FPQC, Del, Fur, Frank, and Ephraim. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thanks everyone who was watching, and we'll see you next time. See you later.